Good evening. You know me, Shalshma for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. At least 14 people have been killed in Bosnia after heavy rains caused devastating floods and landslides. Orphanage caretaker pleads not guilty to Global Econ Sunyan Berhad Holdings case. And more on world news, Taiwan cleans up after Typhoon KRATHON. We begin with this news. At least 14 people have been killed in Bosnia after heavy rains caused devastating floods and landslides on Friday, authorities reported. Jablanica, a town southwest of Sarajevo, was severely impacted with mudslides burying homes and cutting off the town from the outside world. Rescue efforts are ongoing, with more victims expected to be found as several people remain missing. The floods have caused significant damage to infrastructure, collapsing roads and bridges, and left many citizens trapped in their homes. A man was charged in the Selayang Sessions Court for allegedly abusing a child of an orphanage linked to Global Econ Sunyan Berhad Holdings. However, Muhammad Sahid Hanapiah, 35, pleaded not guilty after the charge was read to him before Judge Lailatul Zuraida Harun.
The accused was charged under Section 31 in bracket 1A of the Child Act 2001, which carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, a fine of 50,000 ringgit or both. According to the charge, Muhammad Shahid, who works as a caretaker at an orphanage in Bandar Country Homes, Rawang allegedly caned a 6-year-old boy, causing possible injury. Deputy Public Prosecutor Nurilia Eliana Nur Asmal proposed bail of 20,000 ringgit with 3 additional conditions. The accused must not meet or disturb the victim, report to the nearest police station, and remain contactable by authorities. Muhammad Shahid, unrepresented by a lawyer, requested a reduced bail due to financial, work, and family difficulties. The court granted bail at 10,000 ringgit with 1 guarantor, prohibiting the accused from disturbing the victim and witnesses. The case was set for mention on November 5th, allowing time for the appointment of legal counsel. Previously, police launched Op Global last month, raiding orphanage across Peninsular Malaysia linked to GISBH for suspected involvement in child and religious exploitation. The raids rescued 572 victims and 359 GISBH followers, including top management, were arrested.
Meanwhile, the Shah Alam's Magistrates Court approved an extension of 1 to 2 days remand for 9 individuals, including the wives of a senior leader of Global Econ Sunyan Berhad Holdings, GISBH. Magistrate M. Mageshwari granted the police's request for further remand of the individuals aged between 18 and 55, consisting of 7 women and 2 men.
The original 7-day remand for the group, which began on September 28, ended on Friday. Their lawyer, Mois Taman Ahmad, stated that the remand was extended by 1 day for the women and 2 days for the men, as investigations are conducted under the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants Act 2007. They are expected to be released from custody by 4:30 p.m. today and tomorrow morning on police bail. Earlier, all 9 individuals arrived at the court compound at approximately 10:15 a.m. under tight security by members and officers of the Criminal Investigation Department (CID). 4 of the detainees are believed to be wives of a senior GISBH leader, including a foreign national, along with 3 other women and 2 men arrested around Rawang on September 27.
A total of 800,000 ringgit has been allocated by the Ministry of Health Malaysia MOH to upgrade the dilapidated Naga Medamit Health Clinic in Ulu Limbang. Deputy Minister Datuk Lukanisman Awang Sauni said that they are also identifying a new site across the river for the construction of new clinic, which will be included in the 13 Malaysia Plan.
Kita telah memberikan peruntukan sebanyak 800,000 untuk kerja-kerja naik taraf. Walaupun demikian, dengan harga kos pembinaan yang agak tinggi di bahagian Limbang, kerja-kerja naik taraf dapat dilakukan. Walaupun demikian, kita masih juga dalam siri melihat tapak-tapak berpotensi untuk mengangkat klinik Naga Medamit ini kepada rancangan Malaysia yang akan datang untuk bina baru.
During his visit to Naga Medamit Health Clinic and Batu Danau Health Clinic as part of the Sarawak Tour program, he mentioned that 645,000 ringgit is also allocated for upgrading Batu Danau Health Clinic, which faces annual flooding issues. They are working to identify suitable land for the new clinic. Lukanisman further explained that discussions will be held with local representatives in Limbang to determine the best site for these clinics, in line with the ministry's goal to explore potential locations for new generation health facilities under the program.
The Ministry of Health MOH is currently identifying the best approach to secure competent contractors for the construction of dilapidated clinics across the country, including Long Napier Health Clinic, which has been classified as a sick project. Deputy Minister Datuk Lukanisman Awang Sauni said that Long Napier Health Clinic had been approved under the 10th Malaysia Plan but failed to be implemented. The contract with the previous contractor has been terminated.
He added that MOH would explore using corporate social responsibility CSR initiatives from private and corporate sectors to carry out the construction of the clinic, similarly to what has been done in Long Sukang.
Kita akui bahawa klinik Long Napier berdepan dengan masalah projek sakit. Kontrak telah pun ditamatkan dan juga projek tersebut boleh kita anggap sebagai projek yang terbengkalai ditinggalkan oleh pihak kontraktor. Kita telah pun menilai semula dan juga menaikkan kos pembinaan klinik Long Napier dan juga kita sedang mengenal pasti kaedah untuk mendapatkan kontraktor yang competence contractors untuk membina klinik. Competent contractors bermaksud kontraktor-kontraktor yang telah pun mempunyai pengalaman dalam pembinaan klinik-klinik kesihatan. Kalau bahasa Sarawaknya bukan kontraktor cincai-cincai lah. Dan juga selain daripada itu ada kaedah-kaedah yang telah pun kita bincang bersama pihak MOF dan juga kerajaan negeri di mana kita mempunyai satu kaedah yang dinamakan kaedah CSR yang telah pun berjaya di Long Sukang.
Lukanisman explained that the involvement of private and corporate sectors is crucial as they have easier access to rural areas and possess the workforce and materials needed for the construction in Long Napier. Meanwhile, Lukanisman mentioned that increasing the number of staff, doctors and providing comfortable quarters are among the drastic measures taken by the Ministry of Health MOH to attract healthcare officers and personnel to serve in Sarawak, especially in remote areas. He said that MOH urgently needs their services to fill the high number of vacancies in the medical field, especially in rural and urban areas.
Salah satu yang ingin saya berikan fokus adalah memberikan satu kuartus yang selesa. Tanpa kuartus yang baik, sudah pasti agak sukar untuk kita menempatkan doktor-doktor di kawasan luar bandar. Dan kita juga mengakui kelemahan tersebut. Kalau kita pergi di Naga Medamit tadi, keadaan kuartus yang didiami oleh MA kita agak-agak sangat-sangat daif. Dan juga kalau kita lihat tadi Dr. Nadia terpaksa berulang-alik kerana kediaman di kawasan tersebut tidak sesuai dan tidak mencukupi. Begitu juga di tempat-tempat lain. Walaupun kawasan dekat di Bandar Miri pun masih juga memerlukan kuartus kediaman. Ini adalah merupakan elemen yang penting bagi membolehkan doktor-doktor dan juga yang berada di Semenanjung untuk berkhidmat di Sarawak.
Lukanisman also acknowledged that health clinics in northern Sarawak, such as in Lembang and Lawas, are still in poor condition, and these elements will be improved along with the addition of staff and health officers. He further explained that the 50 million ringgit allocated by the Premier Sarawak will be fully utilised to upgrade dilapidated health clinics, while hoping that this allocation will be increased with the approval of Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim.
On to the next news. Educators at Maktab Rendah Sains Mara MRSM Betong must enhance their information and communication technology or ICT knowledge to meet the challenges of the Industry Revolution 4.0, according to Betong Member of Parliament Dr. Richard Rapu. He emphasised that today's education system goes beyond traditional teaching roles. Students attend school not only to learn, but also to be prepared as future leaders with knowledgeable and morally upright individuals.
Warga pendidik terutamanya perlulah melengkapkan diri dengan maklumat serta komunikasi, iaitu ilmu ICT, bagi membolehkan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan mendepani cabaran pada hari ini. Warga pendidik juga perlu memiliki kefahaman yang jelas mengenai teknologi terkini untuk memantapkan lagi sesi pengajaran dan pemudahcaraan. PDPC seterusnya dapat membantu melaksanakan sesuatu perancangan yang telah diaturkan oleh kerajaan maupun kementerian.
Dr. Richard said this at the MRSM Betong SPM 2023 Appreciation and Academic Excellence Awards ceremony held at the school's Grand Hall on Friday. He noted that although many teachers worldwide still use conventional teaching methods, technological tools are increasingly being used effectively in classrooms. At the event, Dr. Richard also donated 10,000 ringgit to the MRSM Betong Alumni Association for various activities. The government has been urged to prioritize efforts in improving facilities at rural clinics, schools, and small and medium industries by allocating a larger budget during the upcoming Budget 2025 presentation. Betong Member of Parliament Dr. Richard Rapu emphasised that increased funding for these three sectors is crucial to ensure that rural communities continue to have access to quality education, healthcare and socio-economic development in the future.
Bagi memastikan sekolah-sekolah daif di luar bandar dan juga fasiliti dan perikesihatan di luar bandar, klinik dan lebih-lebih lagi hospital Betong memang amat memerlukan peruntukan tambahan bagi memastikan taraf perkhidmatan dan prasarana serta peralatan yang digunakan di fasiliti kesihatan dapat dipertingkatkan bagi memberi perkhidmatan yang terbaik kepada masyarakat di luar bandar.
He also expressed hope that small and medium enterprises SMEs and the agricultural industry in rural areas will receive the necessary attention from the government in this year's budget.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim has arrived in Dhaka, Bangladesh, for an official visit aimed at strengthening ties between the two nations. His plane touched down at Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport at 2 p.m. local time, where he was greeted by Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor of Bangladesh's interim government, and other senior officials.
Anwar was given a red carpet welcoming ceremony, including a 19-gun salute, and received Guard of Honor mounted by members of the Bangladesh Armed Forces. The trip, which comes on the heels of Anwar's 3-day state visit to Pakistan, will see the Prime Minister attending bilateral meeting with Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus to discuss and strengthen diplomatic relations between Malaysia and Bangladesh, fostering ties of friendship between the nations. Anwar is also expected to pay a courtesy call on President Mohammed Shahabuddin before departing for Kuala Lumpur today. High Commissioner of Malaysia to Bangladesh, Hasna Muhammad Hashim, said this is the first time visit by the head of foreign government since the formation of interim government led by Nobel laureate Dr. Muhammad Yunus. This visit echoes history, as Malaysia was the first Muslim country to recognize Bangladesh independence on January 31st, 1972.
Dan elemen itulah juga yang telah berlaku pada tahun 1972, di mana Malaysia membuktikan persahabatannya dengan merupakan negara Muslim pertama yang mengiktiraf kemerdekaan Bangladesh. Dan pada kali ini juga, Malaysia juga merupakan negara pertama yang membuat rawatan peringkat ketua kerajaan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri dalam tempoh hanya 2 bulan selepas kerajaan yang baru kejap sementara dibentuk.
Last year, trade between Malaysia and Bangladesh totaled 12.7 billion ringgit, solidifying their economic partnership.
And Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim's recent state visit to Pakistan has secured potential trade deals worth 2.65 billion ringgit. According to Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Dr. Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, Pakistan is set to increase its imports of Malaysian palm oil, wood-based products, fertilizers, petrochemicals and oleochemicals.
The visit also resulted in investment commitments of 100 million ringgit in the halal sector to be realized within 3 years. Next month, Malaysia and Pakistan will begin discussions to review their closer economic partnership agreement, aiming for further benefits through this free trade deal, with the review expected to conclude by 2026. During the trip, a memorandum of understanding was signed between Malaysia's Trade and Pakistan Trade Development Authority, and a high-level business dialogue attracted participation from 67 companies. Tengku Zafrul also announced that the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry MITI will open a Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation Trade office in Karachi on October 15. Pakistan remains Malaysia's third largest trading partner in South Asia, with trade between the two countries surging by over 54% this year, totaling 5.68 billion ringgit.
Malaysia's semiconductor industry must diversify beyond its current reliance on multinational corporations and manufacturing to maintain its global standing. Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli highlighted the importance of creating a more dynamic ecosystem featuring startups, tech innovators and increased support from venture capital and private equity to drive growth.
Speaking at the Malaysia Semiconductor Recruitment Day 2024, Rafizi emphasized that while Malaysia is well positioned in the semiconductor and AI sectors, the landscape is evolving with de-risking strategies and China Plus One policies. Rafizi said in recent years, the challenge has been shifting up the value chain from the back-end processes to front-end operations. He stressed the need to move up the value chain from assembly to front-end chip design and innovation, pointing out that this transition demands more engineers and new approach to funding. Rafizi noted that Malaysia's electrical and electronics sectors contributes about 8% of the nation's GDP, valued at 143 billion ringgit annually. He also announced that 7 companies have already joined the IC Design Park in Puchong, creating 600 new jobs with plans to attract 15 more firms. With a projected need for 60,000 engineers, the Semiconductor Recruitment Day aims to bridge the gap, featuring 25 leading companies and over 2,000 registered graduates.
And now on to world affairs. The UN Health Agency said on Friday that it had approved use of the first diagnostic test for Mpox, key tool in the countries battling outbreaks. More than 800 people have died across Africa from Mpox, where the disease has been officially detected in 16 countries, according to the African Union's Disease Control Center. WHO said the approval for emergency use of the test will be pivotal in expanding diagnostic capacity in countries facing Mpox outbreaks. The test, called the Alinity MPXV assay and manufactured by Abbott Molecular Inc., enables the detection of the Mpox virus from swabs taken from human lesions. By detecting DNA from pustular or vesicular rash samples, laboratory and health workers can confirm suspected Mpox cases efficiently and effectively. Assistant Director General of WHO, Yukiko Nakatani, said the approval of the test represents a significant milestone in expanding testing availability in affected countries. Limited testing capacity and delays in confirming Mpox cases persist in Africa, contributing to the continued spread of the virus. Increasing access to quality-assured medical products is central to the efforts in assisting countries to contain the spread of the virus and protect the people, especially in underserved regions. Mpox is caused by a virus transmitted to humans by infected animals, but can also be passed from human to human through close physical contact. It causes fever, muscular aches, and large boil-like skin lesions, and can be deadly. Workers removed felled trees and swept up shattered glass in southern Taiwan on Friday as Typhoon KRATHON was downgraded to tropical depression after killing 2 people and injuring hundreds more. The Central Weather Administration lifted its typhoon warning early Friday as the storm slowly dissipated after slamming into the island the day before, bringing mudslides, flooding and destructive winds.
我们瑞丰是休1、3嘛，1、3没有我们就不算。礼拜2和礼拜4，如果今天再不卖的话，就会3天，都会损失3天的营业。还好啦，是还好，不会说很那个，就是还好它跑得快，那个台风跑得快，要不然。
Across the island, 2 people were killed, 1 was missing, and nearly 700 were reported injured, with more than 70,000 homes still without power as of Friday afternoon. The coastal city of Kaohsiung, where schools and offices remained closed, workers raced to clear away trees and fallen advertising signs that still blocked many streets and a light rail track. More than 1,000 soldiers have been deployed to assist in clean-up efforts in the seaport city, according to the Defense Ministry. Thai authorities and conservationists are racing to rescue over 100 elephants and other animals after flash floods struck northern Chiang Mai province. Deputy Prime Minister Bumthang Wichayachai confirmed that 117 elephants have been saved, but 9 more are still in need of help. A video shared on social media shows a herd of elephants running to escape the rising waters, with one blind elephant lagging behind. Flood waters also stranded buffaloes and other farm animals in a completely flooded village. Thailand's northern region has been battling heavy flooding since August, which has claimed 49 lives and displaced thousands of families. The death toll from a devastating storm that battered the southeastern United States climbed to at least 130 as the disaster became a hot topic in an already bitter election campaign, with the White House angrily refuting claims it had been slow to respond. With hundreds still unaccounted for across several southeastern U.S. states and the death toll climbing, President Joe Biden announced he would travel to storm-ravaged North Carolina Wednesday to monitor rescue efforts.
In order for communities to begin functioning again, we all know it's critical to have power restored. And I want to tell you about what we're doing on this front, because that is truly the fundamental lifeline sector. As of this morning, about 2 million people are still without power across the impacted states. At least 50,000 personnel from 31 states and D.C. and Canada are responding to power outages throughout the region via established mutual assistance agreements between utilities.
At least 130 people were killed by the storm and associated flooding, 57 in North Carolina, 29 in South Carolina, 25 in Georgia, 14 in Florida, 4 in Tennessee, and 1 in Virginia, according to tallies from local authorities and media reports. Emergency workers continue to grim search for hundreds of people still unaccounted for across the affected states. The torrential rains brought widespread havoc. They also worked to restore water and power supply to the affected areas, as well as cell phone service, remove fallen trees, deliver supplies, and register people for disaster assistance. See the world closer with TVS as we bring the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. Those were the updates on TVS 99. I'm Shosha Metro. Thank you for watching and have a good night.